You are looking at a man named Jahmyr Gibbs. You're looking at a man that is going to win leagues for people in 2023. You're looking at a man that will soon climb into round two, if not the bottom of two, maybe higher, maybe mid two. But for right now, we live in a world, an alternate reality from what we will be living in a few weeks from now, where he lives in round number 3. Jahmyr Gibbs wins you leagues, ladies and gentlemen. And the news is kind of evolving and kicking into high gear about this guy. Some of it's kind of like, oh, they're going to have a two-headed monster in Detroit. Then another piece of news drops saying Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have a big workload. Get ready for him. So there's going to be a lot to come on this man in the coming weeks on Newswires. We're here to kind of beat a dead horse on the topic, just so you know exactly where to take him, what might be worth it. The Fantasy Football Show begins now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Jahmyr Gibbs season is upon us, and everybody out there that says, oh, but he's too small, Smitty. Smitty, Jahmyr Gibbs is just like Swift. They got rid of Swift. What makes you think they like Jahmyr Gibbs, Smitty? He's just the same player. They're just going to misuse him. They've got Monty. They wouldn't pay Monty starter money, Smitty, if they really wanted Jahmyr Gibbs to drop loads all over the field. Ziggy, show me the front door. Ziggy, show me the front door. We've got someone at the front door. Hold on 1 second. Don't worry, it's just Miss Smitty taking out the trash. And get that meatloaf ready while you're at it. Don't worry, she's outside. She can't hear me. I am safe. Ziggy off. In a minute, we're going to take some phone calls, but first I'm going to tell you how high I think this guy can climb and what really is in store for Jahmyr Gibbs owners walking into the 2023 fantasy football season. Sick Nasty first in the building. Brian is second. Thomas is no slouch coming in third. Hector in the building. Jay Frake, Mr. Random, D-Class, Matthew, Melvin, Matt Slater, OEG, Nathan, Lupo. It goes on and on and on. I appreciate every single one of you. How good can Jahmyr Gibbs be? Let me throw this at you, okay? Let me put it on screen. Top 5 running back. How do you like them apples? That's how good I think he can be his rookie year. Top 5. Do you draft him top 5? No, you do not. Do you draft him top 10? No, because you don't have to. I don't know where he's going to fall in terms of overall running back for you, but he is a 3.1 and beyond player. Don't even think about taking him in round 2. I will get on that. I will be conducting that train the moment we feel we have to breach into round 2. Do not breach it. Do not get over-eager. Don't be an over-eager Oscar and go out there and shoot yourself in the foot by taking Jahmyr Gibbs in round 2. This report from ESPN talking about the Lions envisioning a two-headed monster at running back with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Now, this piece of news is different than some of the other news you might see. There's another piece of news out. Let me find that one. Where is that? There's another piece of news out I was going to show you. I don't have it on the screen here. But the thing about this piece of news that I like is this potentially could drive down his value maybe a slot or two. Because the last thing a Jahmyr Gibbs believer wants to read is committee and two-headed monster. And the fact that there's 2 players involved. And this particular news report, which is the most recent piece of news on Gibbs, period, and it's coming from ESPN. So ESPN is reporting it. So that means NBC Sports is reporting it. That means Twitter's going to have it. This is going to go all around. Whereas maybe another beat reporter report on Gibbs being, looking like he's going to get a full load, at a certain different divide of touches. So it's kind of like a 1A, 1A. There's no 1A, 1B. It's a 1A, 1A because Monty's getting work up the gut. Gibbs is getting more than enough work up the gut. He can't handle the excess, so that goes to Monty. But he's going to be a wide receiver. And what people are going to read when they see this, and this is what maybe you pass around your league. Maybe DM it in your group chat and say something. Oh, I didn't mean to send that. and say, Gibbs is going to be in a committee, and send it to your entire league and go, oops, I meant to send that to my cousin. And just float this out there. Just float it out there. Just say, oops, two-headed monster. Two-headed. Now, monster is a big term that could excite people, but nobody wants to hear two. But I'm telling you right now, Monty is irrelevant to Gibbs's workload. He is irrelevant. When someone says they're paying Monty, Monty's irrelevant. Monty's irrelevant, but he's also a necessity because Gibbs needs to have somebody to take on the workload. If this team runs 500 times in 2023, do you think that Jahmyr Gibbs can even run 220 times? I don't think so. Jahmyr Gibbs can't even handle half of what the total number of rushing attempts are going to be in Detroit. You don't want him doing it. You can't have him carrying the football 250 times up the gut because he's going to be a 65, 75, maybe even 80 reception running back. This guy doesn't have time to run up the gut. So more than half of the rushing attempts in Detroit don't have to go anywhere near Jahmyr Gibbs, and it affects his value zero. Zero. Absolutely zero. Yeah, so insane value in the third round, to be honest with you. Absolutely insane value. Just like us ETN owners, says Kerry. I'm not sure what that means. ETN owners. ETN's gonna. Are you talking about ETN having a good year? Because ETN's in a good position, man. I think they're gonna throw the football to ETN this year. I think they are. Jahmyr Gibbs, take him in round 3. Expect top 5 to 10 running back numbers. Don't be petrified like Peter about his workload. His workload is packaged in. It's kind of like Kincaid. He's going to get X number of targets because he's going to play slot wide receiver half the time. He's going to be running routes. Kincaid is not even relevant, or Knox is not relevant to Kincaid. And that doesn't mean Knox can't catch 5 or 6 or 7 touchdowns. Josh Allen's going to throw him around like candy. Knox has some independent value, and I'm not trying to knock on him. Not trying to knock on Knox. No pun intended. But I'm trying to convey that Kincaid and Knox have almost irrelevant values. They're not parallel. They're not connected. One doesn't affect the other. Monty and Jahmyr Gibbs play nearly entirely different positions. And this man is a Mars man for a reason.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars man. Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
I'm adding one more Mars man before probably mid-August. So we have about 10, 11 days before I add a final Mars man. I really love that this looks like a small group. You know, we have 8 people in this Mars man group, and 9's not too much of a crowd. And we have some overlap
to the moon.
On the Moon Men list.
The Moon Men. Dropping loads in outer space.
But you'll notice we don't have like Burrow and Chase because they're already exploded, but they're going to Mars.
Space Monsters.
But we have some overlap, and that's okay. We started to think, let's take it away. Let's have a separate Moon Man list, a separate Mars Man list, but I like it the way it is. When we thinned it out just to look at it and try it out, I didn't like it. I want every single Moon Man present and accounted for. And I imagine we could potentially add one more, but I don't know that we will. I will say I'm a little bit ashamed of myself that I took Zay Flowers off. Although we put him on the satellite man list, it wasn't really a demotion. It was kind of like, put him in waiting until we figure out some things. But Zay Flowers is looking the part. He's looking the part. He might reemerge. We might just kind of pluck him back up into the Moon Man list. I'm not sure, but I love Zay Flowers. He's so impossible to guard. Zay Flowers is Antonio Brown meets Jahan Dotson type of player, and he's unguardable, I hear, in camp. So very, very excited. We got Riff dropping the first super chat of the evening. Riffy boy dropping it. Large $10 hauler. Appreciate you, Riffy. Is third round too early for Gibbs in a 10-man PPR? Also, it doesn't look like Cook is going to New York. You told me you'd keep Ridley over Brees if Cook doesn't sign Does that change your opinion? Well, Riff, if I remember correctly, I don't think I've ever emphasized that I think Cook is going to New York. But I think that ultimately Breece Hall, if there's any sort of keeper value for the future, I'd rather have Breece Hall no matter what. Doesn't matter Dalvin Cook. So I don't remember what I answered last time. I don't think it probably related too much to Cook because I might have said in the moment when Cook news is kind of popping up, if he did, I could see you going, Ridley, maybe I said something like that to that degree. But if there's repetitive keeper value, then Breece wins out anyway. But I do like Ridley a ton. And right now, because of the active PUP list that Breece Hall landed on, which is just a technicality so that they can get more eyeballs on other players and narrow down their roster and this kind of paperwork type of designation as he's working with everybody anyway. He's out there on the field doing the same thing. Active PUP means you're out there with everybody else. It's just a label you can throw on a player to keep them on the side in terms of like numbers. It's a chess move. And people are still freaking out enough about that I believe that we're looking at a potential steal territory, much like Barkley was a steal in the third and late second round when everybody thought he was going to hold out, and now he's going back in about 10 to 15, 10 to 16 overall, depending on your format. On Sleeper, he's going 9, 10, 11. On Underdog, he's going 14, 15, 16. And I think that the two close that gap, and he goes right around 12 overall on average everywhere. So Barkley's climbed up, and people stole him away for a couple weeks. And on the channel, we said, go ahead and take him. Go ahead and steal him away from everybody while they panic about him holding out. Barkley's too smart to hold out. Barkley's going to come back in. Okay? And he did. The dust settled, and then he came running back in. Same thing with, what are we talking about here? Oh, Breece Hall's ADP. Yeah, the PUP and Cook, Dalvin Cook, those two things have vaulted, or shall I say, deflated the ADP value of Breece Hall into round 4, and I don't think it's going to last for very long. So let's go ahead and wait and see what happens. We still got more Dalvin Cook concern to land anywhere, and once that subsides and once he's removed from the PUP, and once you hear the first indication that Breece Hall is going to be ready for week 1, just like we heard about Javonte the other day, you're going to see Breece Hall climb into the 2-3 turn. 23, 24, 25, 26 overall is my guess. Ridley's right around there. You can't go wrong with this decision, Riff. I would probably say if there's additional keeper value, go Breece Hall. If there's not, Ridley's a fine choice. He's safe. Maybe you draft Breece Hall in the next pick because of the PUP and the threat of Cook making him fall slightly. That's the only thing I can tell you. But both are great. Ridley's probably safer. But I love Breece Hall for the long term more. So if there's any sort of long term value at all, I'd say Breece Hall. But Breece Hall's fantastic, bro. You can't go wrong. I can't wait to see Smitty rage when Monty starts culturing Gibbs weekly. This is another Dalvin Swift piece of offense. Oh my God. I wish look, Shady, I don't mean this in a bad way, but I wish we had more Shadies in drafts that we're in. So Shady's saying this is another DeAndre Swift piece on the offense, just younger. This couldn't be so far from the truth. The fact remains that this is the Lions guy, this current staff's guy. The fact remains he went number 12 overall. The fact remains every indication, every report, every beat writer has said, Shady, that this guy is unguardable and this guy's all over the field. And he's electric, and he's a weapon, and he's everywhere. And I think you're trying to tie his size and that he's going to be injury prone to DeAndre Swift, but kind of an unfair claim and thing to assume that happens when they're two different people, my guy. They're two completely different people, and you're tying them together just assuming one's going to get hurt because the other got hurt. To me, that's a big generalization. Number one, every argument an anti-Gibbs believer suggests is completely tied to DeAndre Swift or what happened last year. It has nothing to do with the independent talent level that Gibbs has, the independent hype and belief that the offense and the coordinator and the coaching staff to the owner have in this guy. I don't know if you watched on draft day when they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, Shady, but that entire organization, the entire draft room was jumping for joy. They were chest bumping each other. They were picking each other up. One was coddling the other. One was slapping the other on the rear end, and they were just holding each other like grown men do when they draft a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs. It's what I would do if I was sitting with a buddy and he drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. I'd pick him up. I'd march him around the room on my shoulder. That's what you do when a friend drafts Jahmyr Gibbs. You celebrate them because they drafted an absolute monster. So Shady, please tell as many people as you can. Tell everybody, Shady, that this is the next DeAndre Swift. And the only thing I could say, Shady, is the reason you probably feel this way, if I had to guess, Shady, is that you've doubted him for so long. What else can you do at this point but double down? Because how uncomfortable is it to say maybe I was wrong on Gibbs? Maybe I was wrong on Gibbs and he's going to come around. How uncomfortable is that? Pretty uncomfortable. So my advice is to maybe take a little gander at it and maybe say to myself, is it better to continue to throw more good after bad? Is it better to double down on this? Or is it better to say to myself, why don't I just back off some of the negative doubt that I've thrown on this kid, and I just say, you know what? Open mind. He's exploding. The offense is going to build around him. They're going to throw him 55 to 85 receptions. I say a big range because you never know. Rookies can get injured. It happens. I wouldn't call him DeAndre Swift if he missed 2 games because of the nature of the position. But this guy could catch literally 70, we'll call it 70 receptions, just to be safe. Right in the middle, 70 to 75 receptions as a rookie, Shady. That is 70 points in your PPR. That is, I mean, maybe you don't play PPR. I don't know, Shady. The phone lines will be open in a minute, and I'd love to discuss this with you on a real serious level because I love picking the brain of somebody that is anti-player that I feel like there's no real ground to stand on. Like, Shady, I truly, truly mean this from the bottom of my heart. I don't mean this in any sort of negative way. I see there's zero ground to stand on in terms of doubting Gibbs. The only thing you can do is try and predict injury because he's, 200 pounds? But guess what? Bijan's 209. Is it that really that big of a difference? This guy plays in a wide receiver way. His wide receiver role, his more of a wide receiver than running back role is going to be what keeps him healthy. This is a Garrett Wilson size guy in a sense, running routes as a wide receiver. He's electric. He's fast. He gets a seam and he's gone. He's going to be absolutely electric. And I can't wait for more people to shovel out the doubt and continue to throw more bad at good or good at bad. However you want to look at this, to be honest. There's 10 ways we could word this. I can't wait. Just keep spreading the word. Tell everybody you know. Tell everybody you know. I would take him at 3.1 if I had to in a heartbeat. Bad news is he just went at the turn picks in the throne draft at the 2nd and 3rd turn. You know, and blame some of this on me because I talk him up so much and everybody knows how much we love him. But it would have been amazing if we could get Jahmyr Gibbs. I really wish we got that one pick. That one pick would have given us Jamar Chase, Jahmyr Gibbs, and probably like a Calvin Ridley, and we would have been to the moon. But we started off really well. We got Barkley and St. Brown. Cannot complain whatsoever. Let's open up these phone lines and talk about Jahmyr.
Call into the show.
Actually.
From the fantasyfootballshow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
So, for those that missed it earlier, Alvin Kamara is suspended 3 games. We assume his ADP climbs to round 6, maybe 5. I'm out in round 5. Too high. I'm even out at the top of 6, and I'm out at 6 if the right players are still there. Because in the 6, a lot of players linger that I love. So, whether it's T. Law, whether it's Pacheco, whether it's Javonte at late 6, those are all things that that have me saying, okay, I've got enough shares of Kamara. I'm fine not taking him over those guys. And we did predict the number of games 3, because if you remember my last live stream, I said he's going to get the number of. This is all scripted. It's easy to tell. Goodell's going to walk in and go, how many games should we give you? What's on your neck? 3? 3 games. 3 games. And it might even be subliminal messaging that Alvin Kamara put a 3 on his neck, and he walked in and he said, Goodell, you will give me a 3-game suspension. And there you have it, 3 games. We called it. Literally, the last live stream we did, we said, I think he gets 3 games because he's wearing a 3 on his neck. 3-game suspension. Like that. Your boy Smitty calling it. Or am I calling it, or is it part of the script? And I just have it.
The script strikes again.
Other piece of news, another Detroit Lion player. This guy Laporta is all over the field. Not only is he running with the ones, the Athletic is reporting that he looks the part. He looks the tight end one. Clear as day, the tight end one. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And this guy was 35% of his Iowa receiving yards totals in 2022. This guy was 35% of the yardage at Iowa. This guy's an absolute monster. 35%. He also was top 5 last year among Power 5 tight ends. Top 5 in missed tackles forced and yards after catch. Laporta is a force to be reckoned with. The Detroit Lions did an amazing job drafting Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs. They have Jamison Williams out for 6 games, and they have 2 pass-catching monsters stepping right up and taking over, not missing a beat. Absolutely proud of the Detroit Lions and what they're doing. They're going to have a phenomenal year. Let's open the phone lines.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Phone lines are open. Dial in. Appreciate every single one of you in here. Hit that thumb up button on your way in the door. 176 of you can't be wrong. Phone lines right here. Dial into the show. I'll kill the music and we'll discuss Jahmyr Gibbs. We'll discuss how far we can push the boundaries of his ADP. What's smart, what's not. I've had a couple people come to me lately and say, Smitty, he's not going to be there in the 3rd round. Should I take him? Should I take him in the 2nd? The answer is no. You know, you can't. You can always justify why you should take him, in your own mind, but you got to play the ADP the best of your ability, or make a trade and trade up and at least move your 3rd rounder up to get him and justify like the move or something. But to take Gibbs at 18 when you don't need to because you're scared and you want him so bad you're overly excited, you can't do that. Negative Ethan, you're live.
Smitty, in my 2 QB league, I think I can win it with a pick of Gibbs in the 4th. And I'm really worried. I need him to drop every ball in preseason. We need to start like that Jamar Chase rumor that he can't catch NFL balls. Because,
you remember that?
I mean, this guy. Yeah, I mean, that's what we need right now.
Bro, I forgot about that. I'll never forget that I had Jahmyr Gibbs. I had Jamar Chase ranked really high. And if you guys remember, anybody that's been following me for a long time, they know that his rookie year, he went into a big slump. I don't know if it was like a 4 or 5 game slump. It was very long. And right at the onset of it, I said, buy and you'll win a league. Buy and you'll win a league. And then the next week came and he didn't bounce back. And everyone said, Smitty, we still buying? I said, buy and you'll win a league. Buy him. Buy low. Jamar Chase goes out, doesn't bounce back. Smitty, you sure about this? Buy and you'll win a league. Next week, I think it went this long. I kind of my memory's a little foggy on it. And I think he busted again the next week. And I remember going, I sure hope I'm right on this one. Buy and win a league. Next week, Boom. He was the reason people won leagues. He exploded down the stretch his rookie year and single-handedly walked people into championships. But yeah, I remember before then it was like he can't catch the NFL football quite like the college football. That was one of the dumbest reports I've ever seen in my life. Like, you could give a football player, you could throw a soccer ball to a football player and they're going to be able to catch it better than anybody could possibly catch it. There's no loss of translation in catching a football from college to catching a tiny little one you'd buy at Target that's smaller. Like, you're a football player. You're a football player. This is the most dumb, ridiculous report ever. But anyways, as far as Gibbs, problem is he's not going to look bad, bro. He's only going to look good. I know you're kind of joking and just throwing that out there to be funny, but he's not falling to round 4 if he has any sort of highlights whatsoever, of practice, of ripping off a practice touchdown of like 55 yards untouched, catching a one-handed catch, in taking it house, whatever. If he plays any preseason and rips off a 15-yard run and takes one carry for 15 yards, that's all it takes. That's all. Just one small little thing, one little movement, one little shake and bake, and he's going straight into the grandma league, straight from round 4 to the top or mid-third. In the Shark leagues, he's going from the mid-third to the 2.10, the 2.09, the 2.11. To be quite frank with you, though, he is a steal in round 3. To the point where, like, I don't even know that I want to talk anyone down from 3.5. I think it's a steal. And while I say that, I want you to take advantage of 4, but he's a steal in round 3. And quite frank, he's going to blow away 2.5 value, but I don't want anybody taking him there because your team's going to suffer because you can get somebody and Jahmyr Gibbs because he goes in 3 like clockwork. Very rarely is he going to go at 3.1 right now. He's going to go at 3.5.
I'm taking Olave at 3.4, I think. So that's why I'm kind of worried. I don't think I'll be able to. If I don't get Gibbs, I'll take ETN or Walker later or something.
Yeah, I don't know how you got to play in a pretty mellow and not very challenging league to find Gibbs in 4. But hey,
it's a 2 QB league, so I'm hoping the quarterback.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. That'll nudge him down to like 4.1 to 4.5 for sure. All right, hang tight real quick.
I'm 4.9, so that's all I'm worried about.
Yeah, I don't know that you're going to get him at 4.9. You could, but I would trade if you could. Let's go over to Marsman Rockout. Marsman Rockout on the line. This is a Marsman. Move over. Marsman coming through. Rockout. Show him your card. Get right to the front of the line. What can I help you with?
Yeah, I like Gibbs this year. I can even see him be there with Robinson, not touchdown-wise, but with the catches as far as fancy points-wise.
Yeah, Mile High says that Gibbs is going in round 5 on ESPN. I wonder if that's standard, though.
I see him at 4 on ESPN.
Yeah, you might be playing standard. Mile High, if you come in here and say, yeah, it's standard, we're gonna Who plays standard, Mile High? Who? At least play 0.5.
At least 0.5.
Yeah, at least play 0.1. Play something, bro. You can't play a non-PPR anymore. That is archaic, Mile High. That's archaic. Let's go over to Isaac real quick and rock out. Just interrupt if you have anything. Isaac.
Schmitty, my man, I'm sorry it's been a while for me. I've been relocating, but following as I can.
That sounds suspicious. Relocating. Hey, the last time I talked to you, you fell asleep on the phone line, I think.
Yeah.
Don't think I forgot that.
Sir. Hey,
don't think I forgot
remember
that.
Remember 3 kids?
Hi. Yeah.
Hi. Well, here's one of them.
Yeah. What do you got?
We are moving from Kentucky to South Carolina. So listen, let me ask you something. A scenario. I'm securing the first pick with a trade to get Bijan, okay? And my second is Chase at a keeper. Let me ask you, in the first 3 picks, how comfortable are you taking Bijan and Jahmyr? Because you're right, he's not going to last past the 3rd round.
I mean, they're two of my favorite players, so like I'm very comfortable. I guess would be my answer. I mean, why? They're both Marsmen.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
For some reason, it feels like a
Marsman.
tad risky.
What's
I don't know why.
what's risky about it? What's risky about it? RB rookie running backs explode. They're both in my top 5 like running backs at the end of the season. I'm not going to draft them that way, but like if you're going to have me, if you think I'm going to come out and say, and I don't mean this in a harsh way, I'm just trying to emphasize my point with my passion about it. But if you think I'm going to say, oh, I lessen my excitement for them because they're together, you're in the wrong place, Isaac.
Well,
you know what I mean?
You.
Like Bijan and Gibbs, I dream of having them on the same team.
You're the guru, but I had to ask. I feel like I'm going to take both because otherwise, let's say I miss out on Gibbs, which I don't think I will. I'll take Olave, right? And I'll still have Olave, Chase, and Bijan and feel real good. But I think I'm going to have a chance to get both.
Yeah, we'll get them both. That's definitely the way to go. All right, hang on, Isaac. Mute yourself if you don't mind, and then when you want to come back in, you can unmute.
Gibbs is receiving with Monty on the field. I didn't even expect that.
What do you mean you didn't expect it? I've been telling you the entire offseason.
I thought they'd switch off. This is even better. So
but
what Gibbs is staying on the
field. What would
make
you think when I told you the entire offseason that their positions are completely different and irrelevant? Monty has nothing to do with Gibbs. Nothing. It's like saying I can't believe Joe Burrow's on the field when Jahmyr Chase is on the field. Their positions aren't even the same. This is a weapon. Gibbs is an absolute weapon on the field. Monty's a running back. Okay, it says RB on the roster. For Gibbs, it says W for weapon. I've been telling you all offseason, this guy's going to be all over the field. They need Monty to be in the backfield while he's out wide in the slot, and they need him to be a decoy. Are we going to imagine if you just run a one running back set? And you throw out Gibbs in the flat, into the slot, okay? And you have no RB behind you. Like, you know what's coming. That's the whole point, is Gibbs is all over the field. So, of course, Ethan. Okay, hold on, Ethan. Grant from Alabama. You're live.
Hey, what's up, Smitty? Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah,
I got
buddy.
a quick question for you, and it's kind of league dependent. So I'm kind of with Isaac here, and I'm from Atlanta, so I'm been following Falcons training camp pretty close. So I'm super all in on Bijan. And I'm thinking I have the 101 and I've had the 101 since May. And it's a keeper league, tight end premium, 1.5 PPR, and I get Kelsey at the 210. So is it crazy to take Bijan first overall because I really do think he's got legendary upside, and then at the 3-1 get a Pollard or a Brees to secure the running backs because in the 4-5 I could get a Watson.
Look, I'm sorry if I'm coming off coming off a certain way on you guys, but I literally keep telling you Bijan's the running back 1. I don't know what more I gotta say. I can't tell you how many times today I've been asked the question, Smitty, is it crazy to take Bijan over CMC? Hey, Smitty, I got a bold take. Should I go Bijan at number 3 overall, or am I getting crazy? Well, has anybody been watching my show? I won't get mad. Where have you been? Where have you guys been? It's Bijan. Bijan's the running back 1. Bijan, I'd take number 1 overall if it was a 2 running back, 2 wide receiver league. If it's non-PPR, I'm taking Bijan number 1 overall. I don't know how many more times I gotta say it, and then I think it's careful Caleb's. And no offense, who was talking? Grant. Don't take offense to this, Grant. You're my boy. Bro, fist it out real quick. But I think you're potentially a double checking Donnie. maybe just a double. You're not wrong. You know what I mean? Double checking Donnie. Are you like me? Look, I'm gonna be honest. Outside of the studio, with food. I'm a double checking Donnie to the massive degree. I'll literally go in the fridge and I'll say, Miss Smitty, is this turkey bad? And she'll say, look at the date. And I'll say, I just want to hear you say it, because if you say it, I feel comfortable. And she's like, I just got it last week. Okay, you didn't answer my question. Is this turkey bad? I just said I got it last week. Well, Miss Smitty, I just need to hear you say, is the turkey bad? The turkey's not bad. Thank you. And I take a slice and I taste it. And I'll tell you what, if she doesn't tell me that it's good, I'll taste it. It tastes bad to me. And then all of a sudden she tells me it's good, it tastes good to me. It's all in my mind. So in a way, I kind of understand.
That's reassurance speaking.
Yeah, so I kind of understand Grant from Alabama. I understand all the double checking, Donnie's, because I am one with food. But, I mean, goodness gracious, guys. Should I be worried about taking Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan on the same team, Isaac? No, because they're both Mars men.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
And should you take Bijan over CMC? I would. I'd take him 1.1. I wouldn't bat an eye. Appreciate you both, by the way. Grant to the moon. Let's send Grant to the moon.
To the moon.
I yelled at him. And Isaac, my guy. Let's go over real quickly, and you guys can follow up with different questions in a second. Let's go over to Fitzy. Hey, Fitzy, why don't you ask me if I really like Joe Burrow in round 6?
No, because you talk about that.
Thank you. Thank you for watching my show.
I'm an active listener. Anyway, I was going to talk about taking. We were talking about Pollard last night. Like, would it be crazy to take Gibbs over Pollard?
So not crazy, and both of them are very arguable. The only reason I would say I take Pollard over Gibbs is because you're much more likely to get both of them that way. Whereas if you take Gibbs and you try and let Pollard fall to your 3rd round pick, you're probably not going to get him. So let's say you got a wide receiver in round 1, you get Pollard in round 2, you get Gibbs in round 3, or you get Kelsey in round 1, you get Gibbs in round 2. I'm sorry, you get Pollard in round 2, Gibbs in round 3.
I have the second pick in my draft, so I'm going to go Jahmyr.
Okay.
Because the first guy is Jefferson, and then I got the late second round pick. I was going to put Pollard there, and then go follow up with Gibbs. I was going to get one of the wide receivers like Garrett Wilson or Amon-Ra or like Olave.
They're not
a better strategy to maybe get Gibbs.
If Garrett Wilson or Amon-Ra are sitting down at your 2.11, bro, you got to take a look. You got to take a look at your grandma. Take a look at Aunt Edna. Take a look at Uncle Bud, who's picking his rear end while he's sitting on the couch with his hand in his pants, drinking a brewski. You got to look around your league and just say, Aunt Edna's not taking him. He's not taking him. Bob's asleep over there. Like, if you really are sitting there contemplating what you just said to me, I don't know if I should take Garrett Wilson at 2.11 or St. Brown at 2.11. That ain't happening, man. Not in a normal league. Those guys are gone at like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You what?
It's a 10-team league, so.
Still seems unlikely because they're going at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 overall.
Right.
Last time I checked, that would still put you at 2.9.
Right, I'm not really planning on it. I'm just like hoping it happens.
Yeah, I would hope to. Bro, I'm hoping when I walk out of here, there's a steak dinner sitting there. But that doesn't mean. Hold on, let me see Miss Smith's right there. I'm just making sure she didn't hear that. I'm hopeful that happens, but we don't always get what we want, bro. But I would say that if Garrett Wilson were there, let me put it this way. Let me put it the best way I can. If Garrett Wilson or St. Brown were available at your 2.9 in your 10-man grandma league, okay, that means Gibbs is gonna be in round 4. You know what I'm saying? It's very correlated. If they're sleeping so bad on those players, they're sleeping on the other ones. The further you get down, the worse it's going to get. It's like astigmatism in your vision. Astigmatism is when you could need glasses for astigmatism. You're blurry as can be, and both eyes are 20/20. They just see slightly different. And the further you get away, the more the letters separate. This eye sees this letter differently, and it starts all of a sudden, 40 feet away, the letter R is here, and the letter R is here with both your eyes. That's astigmatism. And the same thing can be looked at in terms of a draft. If St. Brown and Garrett Wilson are there in the 15, 16, 17 overall range, that means the further you get down, the worse it's going to get. So congratulations, you're taking people's money. They're literally sleeping during the draft. Even the auto picks wouldn't allow that, I don't think, bro. But to answer your question, you come out with Ja'Marr Chase. Who am I talking to again? Is this Fitzy? Fitzy?
Fitzy.
Yeah, Ja'Marr Chase, Tony Pollard, Jahmyr Gibbs, smash. I love it. Even in a 10-man league, I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely
really
love
go
it.
wrong.
Yeah,
Like-
you get Burrow on top of that. Get out of here. Get out of here. Burrow on top. Throw Burrow in there. Throw Fields in there instead of Burrow, and then maybe you get Walker and Watson. Bro,
I'm following on Fields this year. Let's go.
let me show you the team you walk out with. Okay, this is the team you walk out with while Aunt Edna is sitting there asleep or playing with her beehive hairdo. Okay, you walk out with Bijan, and when you draft him, you beehive hairdo. Aunt Edna, you take Pollard. Or no, I'm sorry, you're not taking Bijan. You're taking Chase. You got the two pick. You got so Chase, Pollard, and Gibbs. And then my guess is hold on, bro. My guess is you get like a Watson, Walker, and a Fields in your 10-man grandma league. You could walk out with that team right there, bro.
That's that's beating everybody. I'm sorry.
Yeah, of course it is. You're playing with a bunch of sleeping.
Not that guaranteed, but
you're playing with a league of sleep. Okay, hold on. Let's help people that really need help because apparently Fitzy, you're playing with a bunch of nursing home residents. Let's go over to Harrison from New Hampshire.
Yo, I just have a question about your view on Najee this year because I like him at the because I have the number one. I kind of like him on the turn, the 2-3 turn, pairing him up with like a Jahmyr Gibbs. You get the solid production, new O-line, starting at Washington, big tight end. I feel like Najee's going to get a lot of volume. He's going to be consistent every game. But then Jahmyr Gibbs, I feel like his production is kind of scary a little bit, you know?
It depends where you're getting Najee. Najee's a fantastic.
You don't like him at the 2-3 turn?
No, because that's not anywhere near his ADP. Like you'd be taking him.
In Yahoo, he's ADP 24.
Really? See, that's what's so hard, bro.
Yeah.
These ADPs are so bad. They're so bad, and you know why they're bad? I've made this abundantly clear. Because all the drafting monsters that are doing this, like sharks, they're all on Underdog. They're all drafting, promo code Smitty, by the way. Use code Smitty. We're going to be drafting tonight. You get a match of your deposit up to $100. We'll be drafting tonight. Let me drop the link right now. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Here it is. The link is in the description of every video, and I just dropped it right now. But everybody's like, ask me how many mock drafts I've done this year. Oh, I'll answer it since you're not going to ask me. I've done probably 8. 8 mock drafts. How many mock drafts did I do before this time last year? Probably 500 to 1,000. I've done 8 mock drafts. 8 mock drafts. Because why would I mock draft? And I hate that some of you can't play Underdog. I hate that. It hurts me. But why would I do mock drafts when I can do a real draft every single time? It's that's why Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty, links in the live chat, links in the description of every video. I don't pump it just because they're a sponsor. I pump it because it's literally the best way to mock draft. You're mock drafting for $3. You're mock drafting for $5. You're mock drafting for $10. It depends on what league you jump in. But you're mock drafting with a chance to win $10K, $20K, $100K, $1 million, depending on the league you enter in. But it's mock drafting that rewards you. And at the end of the year, you literally look at your account and you're like, if you're good and you have a good year, you literally look at your account and it's like, boom, 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 boom. There it is. You get this little nugget just into your account. Little winnings, prize money just gets inserted into your account. Even if you don't win like the grand prize, you're winning something if you get far, or in the weeklies, if you place a certain place, you're going to get those. That's what's great about the weeklies is you literally have a shot every single week independently to win that 20K. It's crazy. Anyway, Najee on these bad platforms, Yahoo, ESPN, Sleeper, that don't have good ADP data because the real drafters are no longer drafting. They're doing live drafts. It's really bunk, and it's all over the place. It doesn't mirror. They don't mirror one another. We've got we had a report yesterday or 2 days ago that I did not believe, and I took a lap for it. That Rachaad White was going in the 40s, and I'm like, he's not going in the 40s. His ADP's 80. But on ESPN, I think it was non-PPR. I don't remember. He was going like 48. 48. I don't know where the discrepancy is or why there is one on some of these, like why some of these platforms have this really bad data. Like they can't reset it manually and kind of reset it and just kind of start fresh. I don't know what it is, but it's bad data being piled onto bad data. So in the case of Najee, this is bad data. He's not a 24, 25 turn player. He might be on ESPN, but people are going to be scared he's going to get taken. And so even without auto picks and all that, if you're sitting there and he's the 25th suggested player to take, guess what's going to happen when the players that are drafting around 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 overall are on the clock? They're going to feel pressured to take Najee, and they'll take him. And then they just throw more bad ADP data on bad ADP data, and it never gets fixed. Same thing on Yahoo. Camaro was going on one of the platforms. Can somebody mute? I don't know what that is. It sounds like somebody's like... like they're skydiving or something. It sounds like a bunch of wind. I'm talking on it here. Who is that? Okay, it went away. Whoever muted, it went away. Thank you. I don't like Najee at the 2-3 turn. Is he capable of earning that? Absolutely. But I love him.
I think he's really, because I think just people are scared of because I went back to your old videos a couple nights ago and I thought you were really big into him last year. You had him as like top 5 pick last year, and I just think he scared a lot of people because he busted so badly. But I think this year he's
yeah. So like here's the answer. On a platform, whose sound is that? Maybe it is. Who? First of all, who am I talking to? Harrison.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Harrison. I don't know. Let me see. I don't hear it.
I don't think that's me.
I don't hear it now.
Too.
It sounds like someone's making an espresso, or they're skydiving, or they're putting whipped cream into a. I don't know. But here's the problem: is Najee. You're not going to be able to get him later because the ADP suggested rank is telling people to take him at the 2-3 turns. So you got to ask yourself: is he worth it? Who's doing that? I don't even care. I just want to know what it is. I love when no one takes ownership of the sound. No one does. Not me. Not me. Watch this. I'll go through the whole line. Harrison, is it you?
No, I've been hearing it too. And
Watch, everyone's going to say no. Jerry, is that you? It sounds like Jerry.
Yeah, I just went off mute, but I don't think it was me. This is Jerry.
Okay, well, that sounded like a deeper version of it. Okay, mute Jerry if you could. That was definitely loud. Okay. Anyway, okay. My point is, I don't mind it. I guess if you have to do it, maybe somebody else is falling that shouldn't fall, and it'll work out. But could he earn the 2-3 turn value? Absolutely. It's just hard to see you take him there when his ADP is like in the 4th round and other platforms.
Would you rather have like Brees? I'm just scared of Brees' ACL. I know. Yeah. I watch your streams. I know you keep pushing that you're not scared or the 1,000, but I don't know. It's a little.
Well, I don't think you're crazy. I don't think you're crazy. But Brees isn't even going at the 2-3 turn though, my guy. So that's what I'm saying. Like
it's just like I guess I'm comparing Yahoo because that's what my 12-man league drafts on.
Okay, but here's where my mind goes. Okay, so let's stay with this for a second, and then I got super chatters. Actually, Hector and Thomas, hang tight. Are both Hector and Thomas still here? I'm coming right for your super chats after I answer this question or after I help this guy. Okay, so Harrison, if Najee and Brees Hall are both going at the 2-3 turn, that's pushing somebody out that shouldn't be. So like, tell me, is Olave there? Okay, Olave's falling. Where's Jahmyr Gibbs going?
He's 37 ADP. Well, that's his rank.
Jeez, it's 4.1, bro. It's 4.1. That's absolutely crazy. Would I rather have Gibbs over Najee? I would, for sure.
Do you think pairing them together? Because I have Chase at 101, and you think pairing Najee and Jahmyr Gibbs? I feel like it's a safe bet. You have your locked-in RB1, Then you have Gibbs, who could either finish as the RB1 overall.
I don't mind it. I don't
or-
mind it. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I don't hate it, but I just think it's hard for me to draft Najee at number 24, 25 because I'm drafting him in the fourth round, and I love him there, and even the late third, I like him there, but I just can't. I don't know that I can just because of the platform be like, well, I'm getting on board this train. I think I'd ask myself what players don't belong, because if Najee's sitting there at the 2-3 turn, somebody's in the 2-3 turn that shouldn't be. You know, somebody's falling. St. Brown's got to be there or something.
Nah, St. Brown goes at 20. I love St. Brown.
Well,
what about Ramondre? How do you feel about
St. Brown
Ramondre?
goes at
That's my last
20.
question.
He says St. Brown goes at 20. Well, that's way lower than he should be going. St. Brown's going at like 12, 13 in big boy leagues. So that's awesome. You take advantage of that every step you can. I don't know if you can trade up and get St. Brown. St. Brown goes early. He goes in the 20s. That's awesome. Where's Garrett Wilson going on Yahoo? I can't believe Yahoo.
Like 11, 12.
Okay. They should be ashamed of themselves. That's crazy, man.
What about Ramondre? How do you feel about Ramondre?
I'm running from Ramondre at like 25 overall value. I can't do it. I love the guy. I can't stand what Bill's doing right now in New England. I can't stand the obliviousness that Bill has for his quarterback. Sorry, Travis. I know Travis loves Mac Jones. I can't stand how Bill ignored Lamar and his ability to go get him. I can't stand that Bill didn't bring in Hopkins, even though he said Hopkins is like the best thing since sliced bread. He doesn't make a strong enough offer to bring Hopkins in. I just can't stand the way they're doing things there. And the fact that Ramondre appears to be potentially maybe in the doghouse a little bit makes me worried because they're going after Dalvin Cook and they're trying out guys like Leonard Fournette, and it just concerns the hell out of me. So I'm feeling a little worried, not about Ramondre's skill set, but about Ramondre's foothold. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
Oh, there's breaking news here. Hold on, let me put this on screen here. This piece of breaking. This is it's not bad. It's not bad. It's looks here. Trevor Lawrence. Good news. Don't worry. It's not bad. Trevor Lawrence added 6 to 7 pounds, tweaking his mechanics and is making more checks at the line. I don't mind that at all.
Travis Etienne.
Yeah, check downs. Etienne, you guys got to keep in mind Etienne is his boy. They played together in college. And so Etienne, who didn't get any receptions last year, and we're concerned about that, right? But at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, like, he's learning the position. This is like his first year. He didn't play a single snap his rookie year, so year 2 is really his rookie year. So he's walking into year 3, which is really year 2. And they're going to dial back some of his running. And they trusted the game with the game on the line constantly with Etienne. Like, here's the football, Etienne. Here's the football. Just feeding him the rock, like, massively down the stretch. They leaned on Etienne the more the season went on and in the playoffs. Like, it was Etienne. They wanted Etienne to have the football constantly. So the fact that these reports say that Etienne's going to get dialed back a little bit to keep him healthy, that doesn't mean that they're dialing back his receiving. They just mean between the tackles. And I think that this check down news, let me put this on screen. This check down news is fantastic. The added weight. I don't always love added weight for players. But in this case, or for a quarterback, I don't mind it, especially when he's a slender guy to begin with. And so this doesn't concern me. I think Tua Tagovailoa adding weight was very concerning and alarming, and I don't understand that at all. Why would you want to add weight and take your... Can you guys... Can whoever's... Somebody's got their phone unmuted, and it's like just brutal. If you're not talking right now, just mute real quick if you could, guys. Please. Trevor Lawrence added 6 pounds, tweaked his mechanics, and is making more checks at the line. Massive 3-year underway, absolutely. Somebody's not muting. You can always ask 8 people to mute, and only 3 of them will. It's hilarious. Okay, let's go over. So to answer your question, who was I talking to? Harrison. It's a great question. I like Najee, but it's too early, 25, 24. And for me, I look for the reasons why that's happening, who's falling out, what other advantages can I take advantage of? What other situations can I take advantage of because of those bad ADP data points? There's going to be something to take advantage of. Just who's the most explosive player at each pick. But I don't mind if you were to go Gibbs and Najee as your 1 and 2 running backs after taking Chase in the first round. I don't mind that, but I don't know, bro. Like part of me thinks like I could find even Olave. Part of me thinks Olave and Gibbs with Chase, but I think Olave is going to go late enough for you. I just don't know if he's going to go. I don't know if he's going to make it to your pick because you're going to pick so late in round 5. I don't know. Or I'm sorry, late in round
5
6.
is where I get like Fields or like.
Yeah,
that's where I'd mostly get Fields every time.
All right, hang tight.
I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, hang tight, Harrison. Put yourself on mute if you could, and I'll come back to you. We've got Trading Frank. I don't know why we called him Trading Frank, but oh no, hold on, Trading Frank. Hang tight. I got to get these super chats out of the way real quickly. There's 3 of them. Thomas, you still here? Thomas says, love the show, 10-team PPR, 2 flex. My league is 50-50 grandmas. Would you rather have Bijan Barkley or Garrett Wilson, St. Brown second rounds, or mix Yahoo Smitty? So of these 2 options, I'd rather have Bijan Barkley versus Garrett Wilson, St. Brown. But they're really even, man. They're really even. I like both of them a lot. Like I could definitely. Can someone mute, please, for goodness sake? Yeah. So I would take either one of these, bro. I'd take either one of these. I could smash with either one. It depends on how the wide receivers fall. I'd like a balance, to be honest. I'd like to have Bijan and St. Brown, or Bijan and Garrett Wilson, or Barkley and Garrett Wilson, or Barkley and St. Brown, versus having maybe the 2 RBs, if that makes sense. But Thomas, is a great question, and you can follow up, and I'll definitely try and help you there. Hector, Smitty, who would you be good trade target for Jamison Williams in a 0.5 PPR dynasty, or should I just stash him? I don't think you're going to get what you want for him right now, but a good trade target would be someone like Kincaid if you needed a tight end. A quarterback upgrade. I think he's better used or suited as an accoutrement in a trade. Add him in as an accessory, the gravy on the deal, so that you can upgrade maybe a quarterback that you don't absolutely love, but is good, like borderline top 7 or 8, maybe like a Tua or a Gino or whatever, trying to upgrade them into a Fields by throwing in a Jamison Williams. That's how I would handle that. And Lewis, Smitty, if Bijan gets picked number 2 overall, would you go Chase or Chubb? Well, considering Chase is my number 1 overall in a PPR 3 wide receiver, I would be inclined to go with my number 1 overall player. And in a league where it's maybe 0.5, but 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex, meaning you could start 3 running backs and only 2 wide receivers, I would still contemplate Chase, but I would go Bijan. But Chase is still in my top 2. It's either Chase or Bijan or Chase, or I could go Chase, JJ, Bijan if it's like a 3 wide receiver PPR. But my point is, I'm not going to let Chase, who I'd take number 1 overall, go past my pick if Bijan's gone. You know what I'm saying? So, Lewis, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Angus, dropping a super chat real quickly. Angus, per usual, dropping his usual super chat of the day. It reads as follows. This always gives me a chance to take a drink when I get Angus's super chat.
Angus A. Super chat $1.99 from Angus A. Smitty, it's Angus.
Thank you, Angus. Appreciate you dropping your usual. And I think that's all the super chats for now. Any super chats I get, I'll throw on screen. Dan the Grim Reacher dropping a $1 hauler. Appreciate that. Let's go on over to Trading Frank. And Trading Frank, do we call you that because you trade a lot, or I forget?
Yeah, I kept calling you, and you kept helping me out with some trades.
Gotcha.
You showed a lot of love.
I appreciate you.
But I did have a question. So I made some trades. We got a redraft coming up. It's a keeper league, and this redraft, I have Chase in the 7th round, my 7.09. But I just traded up for the 1.02. Now, I'm from Texas, and I love Bijan, but it's really hard for me to fade CMC. Would you take Bijan over CMC? Or should I just go save? I got Chase. I even made good trades where I still have my well, I go kind of far on my second and third. I go down to 2.12 and 3.02. I was thinking ETN.
Yeah, so to answer the Chase Bijan or the CMC Bijan, I mean, again, I get this. I'm sure everybody watching is laughing because and it's not your fault. You don't watch every single waking minute of my show. Yeah. You don't watch every single waking minute of my show, but literally for like the last like 2 or 3 months, all I do is talk about Bijan being my running back one. I wear the shirt almost like once a week. It says running back one Bijan. So the answer is clear as day for me. That I take Bijan over CMC every time. I take Bijan as the number one running back in every draft that I draft in. Plain and simple. Yeah. So
okay, got that. 212. I'm thinking ETN's falling to me, and then 302. I was thinking Gibbs or Fields because literally I'm not going to pick again until 411, and I know Fields is going to be gone. So I just punt the QB. Maybe go another running back.
I would.
Or should I take the risk and take Fields?
I mean, it's a one QB, and is it like 6 points per TD pass, or is it some kind of weird like points per?
Yes,
is it points?
Nah. It's pretty standard. One QB, 6 points. This is our old school redraft, but it's only half point PPR. Yeah.
My two thoughts are: one, ETN, you're drafting too high because he has a much later ADP than 2.12. Fields is going around 5, but in that format, really, honestly, in that format, people think he isn't going to throw for a lot of touchdowns typically, so he should be there in the 4th or 5th round. I think you're going too early.
Well, this is a keeper league too, so remember.
Yeah.
Skip one round.
Oh yeah, so this is really the 4th round then. Okay, I got you. Then all that makes sense. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that at the beginning. All that makes sense then. Definitely feel like I would go ETN because this is essentially your third round pick, not your second. Okay, yeah, Smitty approve everything you said. Then I could take Fields in 4 without hesitation in a 4th round equivalent. I could take T Law in the 5th round instead of the 6th round, and in a 6 point per TD passing league, I love that because I think T Law can throw 35 to 40 touchdowns this year. So I'm all on board.
So T Law would be. That's one thing I was asked you after Fields, who would be your next quarterback? So I feel like there's a kind of a drop off. Who's the last quarterback before the drop off?
Well, for me, you take the big 4 in any order you want, whether it's Mahomes, Josh Allen, Hurts, and then Burrow. Those are the big 4. Really hard to rank those big 4. My number 5 is clear as day. Fields. I think he could finish as the number 1 quarterback. And Trevor Lawrence is my number 6. A lot of Herbert fans hate it. They can't stand it. They're mad at me over it. They can't forgive me over it. But Herbert is next up, and he's got a lot of potential. But no one can talk me out of liking T-Law over Herbert. Not right now. Could Herbert? Herbert's the only one that can talk me out of that. If Herbert comes out and starts slinging it, then I could get behind it. But for me, I just have so much faith.
I don't think it's going to happen, man.
I have so much faith in T-Law.
Offensive coordinator is going to save him.
Well, a lot of people hate that I'm not higher on Herbert. It's not about Herbert as much as it's about Fields and T-Law. I just love them.
True that.
All right, hang tight real quick. Hang tight real quick. Yeah, you can mute yourself and then come back in if you have another question. Nico says all these sound making Michaels. He's talking about all the sounds that everybody has on not on mute. Gibbs with that Lions O-line is going to be electric. He absolutely is. Nico, appreciate you. Nico, did you get? Are you here? Are you still here, Nico? And Hector and Lewis, appreciate you. Angus, Dan, Grim Reacher, G Money dropping a $20 hauler.
Alert! Super chat alert! Alert! Super chat alert!
So G Money dropping a 20 spot on the screen. Love the news show at 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty, appreciate you. Appreciate you, G Money. Appreciate you very, very much. 916 caller, you're live. Who's this and where are you calling from? 916. Who are you calling from? Where are you calling from and what's your name? Well, you snooze, you lose. You snooze, you lose. Thank you, G Money, for the super chat. Let's go on over to Avi. Avi, go ahead.
Yo, what's up? We're talking about Jahmyr Gibbs and ETN right now. I like them both this year, especially at their value, where you can get them. And they could almost give you RB1 numbers, I feel like.
Almost.
I mean, I'm not saying almost like they can't, but I'm saying some people don't expect them to, you know what I mean? We expect them to, but like the rest of the people don't.
I think Gibbs is going to finish around 5. I really, really do. I think he's going to be so good. ETN concerns me more than Gibbs. He concerns me more than a couple other players, just because you got the potential committee feel of Peterson. You got the talk, the coach speak about we're going to dial back some of his rushing without the clarification that we're assuming is there and present, in that we're gonna throw to him a lot more. But you know, there's still a lot of intrigue with ETN. I love ETN, but you got to get him at the right place. It can't be at the 2 or 3 turn unless it's a keeper format like Traden Frank was talking about. Thank you again, G Money. Appreciate you. Thank you all for your super chats. Thank you, Angus. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Jim. G Money. And this one's from Thomas real quick, and then Avi, I'll come right back to you. In a Dynasty Superflex, would you trade Goff, Kincaid, late 24 first for Hurts? Goff, Kincaid, late 24 first for Hurts. I would definitely do that. Hurts is a number 1 or number 2 or number 3 overall in a Superflex. This is a Superflex, right? Yeah, Dynasty Superflex. Absolutely. I would do that. I would take that. It's a lot. You're giving up a lot, but I would do it in a heartbeat. I have Mahomes as well. You're going to just smash people to pieces, bro. You have Andrews already at tight end. It's a tight end premium. Look, that makes Kincaid more valuable, but at the same time, you got Andrews. You can afford to give up that package. Thomas, smash it, bro. Approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
And Reebok in the building. Reebok, appreciate you being here. I'd make that trade, says Reebok. Trust Reebok. He's my guy. Go ahead, Avi. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I actually want to bring up a quarterback topic that's very important to everybody. So, you know, the top 4, like you just listed, Andrews, Fields, and T-Law. After those 6, there's a major drop-off in my eyes. People are thinking, Tua, Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, Lamar. No, Lamar's up there too, actually. Why are people going for the later quarterbacks? I know people want a backup quarterback. It's very good to have a backup quarterback, but this year, people, get one of those 5 or 6 guys. Because you're in a 12-team league, and you're 7 through 12, I'm telling you, this year you might be struggling.
Yeah.
Get one of those top 6 guys.
I agree.
Very important.
I agree. 806 caller, who's this and where are you calling from?
Texas.
WTP from Texas, my guy. Real quick, WTP. Wait, what is it?
Yes, sir. WTP.
WTP from Texas. What's that name from? What's that stand for?
WNBC.
WTP, Texas. WTP.
It comes from the movie Friday from the dad. Just think about the dad.
Oh, WTP. Okay. Hold on, WTP. 1 second. Avi's correct. Early quarterback is this is what I always say. Early QB. Why do you go early QB this year? Because early QBs are literally... Hey, can you guys mute real quick? I don't... WTP, what? Not... mute real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody mute real quick, please. There's so much background noise. It's taking over the whole show. All right, thank you. Hang tight, WTP. I'm coming for you in 1 second. But early quarterback is such an important like concept to grasp this year because of what it means when I say early quarterback. You've got Fields, T-Law, and also Joe Burrow, who are early quarterbacks in my mind, and they're hiding in rounds 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so you have no excuse to leave those rounds and say, well, I'm just going to keep bargain shopping. It's kind of like if you were to go to the store, okay, and you'd see an amazing piece of art or something. I don't know. I'm trying to use some example. Let's call it let's just use art. So you see this amazing painting, whatever, and it's really $1 million painting, but it's $20K. And you're sitting there looking at it and you're like, well, I'm just going to pass on this because there's something even down further that's even cheaper. But you get what you pay for. You're getting $1 million painting for $20K, for goodness sakes. Why are you not looking at Fields like that scenario? Fields belongs in round 2, and T-Law might not belong in 2. Let's call him 3 or 4. He belongs there. That's where I think he's going to be. But you're getting him in 6. So I'm not saying I don't love Aaron Rodgers. I do. But, yeah, to go after Tua's, and we had Steven call in earlier, and I love Steven. I want Steven to know. Steven to the moon.
To the moon.
I'm really hard on Steven, but I want Steven to know that I really appreciate him. And Steven's like, you just go after Tua later in the round. No, don't go after Tua. Go for these early quarterbacks that are plucked from the ADP fairy out of round 2 and dropped off in round 5. Joe Burrow literally got lost. He was in round 2 at the beginning of the offseason. He was sitting there with Mahomes and Josh Allen. I don't know if any of you remember in the very beginning when we did like a mock draft or two in like February. Burrow was at the end of round 2, top of round 3, and he just slowly, the ADP fairy just flew in and grabbed him and just took him. And I don't know if they were taking him to like, crown him or get him fitted for his, new contract, but they dropped him. And Joe Burrow fell from the ADP fairy and fell into round 4 and just looked around. And he's like, what am I doing here? And we said, I don't know. I'm going to draft you, though, in round 4 over and over and over.
Yeah, I'll be shocked if any fantasy teams win without one of those 6 quarterbacks on a roster. And I'll include Lamar, too.
Do you know how many people came to me at the end of the season and said, Smitty, there are a lot of analysts starting to flip toward early quarterback that have everybody's always said. Everybody's always said. All right, hold on, Avi. Everybody's always said. Just hang tight real quick, Avi. Everybody always says that early quarterback is the worst, and these analysts come out and say, never always wait on the quarterback. There are analysts flipping left and right to go early quarterback. I'm like the Robin Hood of early quarterbacks. I defend it like no other person. Doesn't mean I don't take advantage of my Joe Burrows and my Fields players in rounds 5 and 6. Ziggy, show me the front door. But we're talking about what's Miss Smitty doing? Oh, Ziggy, off. We got the little one getting dropped off. I don't know where I was. All I know is you're right. You're right. Early quarterback, no doubt about it. Just emphasizing that early quarterbacks in round 5. There's 2 of them sitting around 5, round 6, round 7. Joe Burrow's calf, his little itty bitty calf, is making him fall to 6. Okay, Avi, real quick, and then I got to go over to WTP from Texas.
Yeah, no, that was just my main point. I want everyone to know. Get one of those top guys, because if you end up with a Tua or something, you're going to be behind in the 6, even no matter who you get. Those quarterbacks drop too much.
I know what I was going to say. Do you know how many people came to me at the end of the year, Avi, and said, Smitty, I didn't listen to you about early quarterback, but I've never been so stressed out of my life not having a quarterback this year. I'm never doing it again. I want a quarterback. I want a consistent top 5 quarterback. And if any of you out there didn't have one last year, you know what I'm talking about. You just are forgetting how stressed you were at quarterback every single week. And you looked over at a Hurts owner and you said, damn it, that looks good. How the hell do I not have a quarterback like that? Look at Mahomie. That looks fantastic. Why can't I have a quarterback like that? I promise you. You sleep like a baby at night when a Fields is in your lineup commanding your quarterback room, when a Jalen Hurts is out there playing like a top 5 overall player and you got him in round 2. There's nothing wrong with drafting Hurts in the middle of 2. Just because I love Fields and Burrow in 5 and 6 or 7 and 8 or whatever the hell Burrow's going to fall because of this calf injury. I still draft Fields. I still draft Herbert. I'm sorry. I still draft Hurts in round 2 in 1 out of every 8 best ball drafts, 1 out of every 10 best ball drafts, because Hurts is going to carry you week in and week out. All right.
Hurts was the most owned fantasy player for wins last year.
Yeah. All right. Hey, hold on, Avi. WTP Texas, you're live. WNBC. WNBC.
Yeah, you think I messed up my draft? I had the number 2 pick, and I went with Christian McCaffrey.
I mean, no, you didn't mess up, but I mean, just because I boldly like Bijan more than McCaffrey doesn't mean that I'm gonna be right, or I think I will be, but I don't know. I just think McCaffrey's an injury risk, but no, you didn't screw up. I mean, he's still a top 4 guy, top 5 guy, bro.
My other running back I got with him is Gibbs, Jahmyr Gibbs, and I got Lamar
Jahmyr
Jackson.
Jahmyr Gibbs. You're gonna have trouble on draft. You're gonna have trouble on draft day. Look, I struggle with WTP, but you gotta. If I work on that, you work on Jahmyr, not Jamar, because you're gonna be searching for him on draft day, and you're gonna be like, "Where's Jamar? Where's Jamar? He's not showing up." All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so I got Gibbs, McCaffrey, Lamar Jackson, and I have to get I'm gonna take Brown, Cooper, and
Good
Watson.
team.
You think I can go to battle with them guys?
Definitely, bro. Definitely love that team. That's a team that could definitely win it. I like it, bro. Good job. Good job.
All right, appreciate it. First time calling, I'll be calling back.
Yeah, hey, you can hang on the line if you want. I don't know how much longer we're going to go, but we're going to see. We got 222 people in here. Hit that thumb up button. If everybody could go on mute that wants to hang out for a little while. Charles, you're live.
Hey, Smitty, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, I was want to know who is your dark horse running back this year?
Dark horse running back. How dark?
Yeah.
How deep are we talking, bro? Because I mean, I could go.
Just
give me a round.
Round 8.
Okay, so we're talking pretty deep. Pacheco goes earlier than that. Javonte goes earlier than that. Kamara now is going earlier than that. So we got to go deeper than that. Charbonnet. I still love Charbonnet. Khalil Herbert, who led the NFL in yards per carry last year. Jerick McKinnon is probably one of my very favorite players that are in that territory. He's going in like the 120s. Khalil Herbert's going in the 116 area. I like Tank Bigsby. Even though I love ETN, I still like Bigsby. I can appreciate a player for their talent and ability. Those are probably the best ones, bro. I mean, you're talking Kendre Miller at 140. I like Kendre Miller a lot. I love McKinnon. Yeah, Kendre Miller, McKinnon, Herbert, and Charbonnet. Those would probably be the dark horse guys in that territory. You're talking like not round 9 on.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Yeah. All right, hang tight. Let's go back over to Harrison. Harrison, what else you got?
I was just thinking about. So I was thinking about Waddle. How do you feel about? Because when Waddle and Tyreek were on the field together with Tua, Waddle had all of his really bad games because. When Waddle was on the field with Tyreek and Tua was off the field. That's when Waddle had all of his bad games because, of course, you as a backup quarterback, you'd only go to Tyreek. So, how do you feel about Waddle with Tua potentially playing a full season?
I don't think
or
he's
potentially not playing a full season.
Yeah, I think I would say if I have to guess, he's not playing a full season. Garrett says, "Are we drafting tonight?" And my answer is correct. Yes, we are on Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. The link I'm going to drop in the live chat right now. Underdog Fantasy. The link is in the description of every video. Pretty much that I have. The link has just been dropped right now. If you're not signed up, click that link now. Get ready, and then we're going to get into the Underdog app together. So you have to be signed up. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. So get ready to draft. And then I got some super chats here. Overcome with a $20 hauler. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to, Harrison, I'm going to have you repeat that 1 second. Hold on.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Appreciate you, Overcome. Tempted to go Bijan over Chase at pick 3. I love that, Overcome. And I am overcome with joy that you are thinking that. So, Overcome, appreciate you dropping that super chat. You are the man, the myth, the legend. And we have a Steve B. Says, what player are you taking at 2.12 turn? I love a lot of players at that 2.12 turn. I would say looking at ADP data right now, and looking at the 22, 24, 25, I'd say, look, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, those guys are fantastic picks there. Calvin Ridley is tempting there. It seems a little bit early, but, Olave's great there. Gibbs is starting to go there, and if I have to take him at the turn, take him in the third round if possible. It's a tough pick. You just hope that a Olave falls. Like Olave and Gibbs, I'd reach on Gibbs if Olave fell to me. That's kind of the way I look at it. I don't know if I'd want to reach all around the board there, but it just depends. If you give me a couple scenarios, Steve, I can hit you with some. Remind me real quickly, Harrison, what you just said. I'm so sorry, bro.
No, you're chilling. So I'm a little bit concerned about Waddle because
Waddle. Okay, yeah,
Waddle is very dependent on Tua's health basically, and because when Tua's off the field, the backup quarterbacks will only target like Tyreek,
I got you.
Taking Waddle is a risk.
I think Waddle is getting overdrafted, and I think you look at an ADP data and you see Waddle going at 16 overall. That's crazy to me. I'm not saying Waddle's not great. I'm not saying Waddle isn't, valuable in Dynasty, but 16 overall, like that's his ADP on Underdog. He's the number 2 wide receiver in his offense, and he's got a guy that's getting concussed constantly when he's on the field. And I'm just worried that, like you just said, if he's off the field, the touchdown production might not be there. The yardage could be, or
no, it's not even the yardage either. Because if you look at last year, he finished as like the 92, 87th, 82nd, I think, when because the backup quarterback was look at Tyreek.
Yeah. But I'm saying the yardage could be there. Maybe it isn't, but the yardage could be there, whereas the touchdowns I don't think can. So I like Mike White a lot, but I don't know that he's going to be dishing out 3 and 4 touchdown games. He's more of a surgeon and a draining the clock kind of guy. And I like him a lot, but bro, I could not take Waddle in round 2. I can barely take him in round 3. And that might sound very disrespectful to the Waddle truther out there, but he's the second option on his team. He's a very good player and a very potent offense. And sometimes the second option, like a Higgins or a Waddle, is better than the number 1 on another team. But that's not the argument that I'm going to have with somebody. Because guess what? I don't need to go there. Because I can still find players that are the number 1s on their teams that are in very potent offenses. So why are we having this debate is what I would say. Why do we have to have a debate about some wide receiver 2s are better off in their offense than number 1s? We don't have to have that debate. Like, I'm taking Olave, who's the number 1 wide receiver in an offense where they're going to throw to him a ton. And Derek Carr's a air yard master. And Olave was the number 1 air yard wide receiver in the National Football League as a rookie through the amount of games that Winston was in there. I think Olave is just a safer player overall. I know a lot of people won't agree with me, and that's okay. I'd take St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Tony Pollard, even Jahmyr Gibbs over Waddle in the 3rd round.
You take Jahmyr Gibbs over Waddle?
Jahmyr, I would, but I'm not in the 2nd round, but in the 3rd round. That's what I'm saying. If you fell to the 3rd round, everyone's like, "Oh, you take him, right?" Not necessarily. I don't hate Waddle in the 3rd round, but he's not like my first choice.
Waddle in the 3rd round is good. Remember that play against the Packers? He can take it to the house.
Remember that play. Remember that one play. Remember that play. You remember? Look, I get.
Bro, Waddle in the 3rd is good.
Waddle in the 3rd, that's what I just said, though, Avi. Waddle in the 3rd's okay. I'm not going to take him for sure in the 3rd. It depends who's there. But I'm not taking him in the 2nd round. His ADP is 16, Avi. That's way too high.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Waddle in the 3rd, I think
it depends. It depends, though. What if Tony Pollard's there? What if Olave's there? What if, it just depends. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. It's not something I'm signing up for and just guaranteeing, if he's in the 3rd, I'm taking him. Like, what if Mahomes is there? What if Jalen Hurts is there? I'd rather have Jalen Hurts than Waddle. Okay.
Sure.
Hang tight real quick.
Would you rather have Devonta Smith over Waddle?
I think that's the same. That's in the same vein. They're both number 2s for their teams. Both have potent offenses. I'd probably rather have DeMonte, the demon. I'd rather have the DeMonte instead, probably $20 super chat. Hold on. All right, hold on.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Collusion dropping a 20 watt on screen. Collusion, I appreciate you. Smitty, pick 9, Hound Dog. Fields, Bijan, The Hound Dogs are out, right? Is that what you were saying? Okay, let me just see real quick. Hold on. Hound Dogs. Oh, $10 entries. These are going to go quick. Hopefully these last tonight. I didn't even see that they were out, to be honest. I was so busy today. Hound Dogs, $10 entry. $10 entry. First place gets $50K. Those are on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. So tonight looks like we're doing a Hound Dog draft, baby, which is $50K to first place. It's the same format, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a flex, 1 quarterback, a tight end, 10 bench spots, just the typical par for the course, differential, different kind of scoring format. Or, I'm sorry, prize format, but the same scoring format. Those are on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. The link is dropped. So this is his Hound Dog team. He's got Fields, Bijan, Gibbs, Pierce, Olave, Watson, Brandon Cooks, Ingram, benches, Carr, Love, Pacheco, Khalil Herbert, Mooney, Hyatt, Ross, Marshall. That's great, bro. So Bijan, Gibbs, Fields, Pierce, Olave, Watson. I love that. That's a great Hound Dog squad, bro. I'm proud of you on that one. That's a really, really good one. Let's see here. I've got another. See, Russian. Thank you, Russian. Russian to the moon.
To the moon.
I love my boy Russian Collusion. He's such a good dude too. Overcome, appreciate you. Overcome says tempted to go Bijan over Chase again. I Smitty approve that. And then the recovery. Are you here, my guy? I'm sorry I haven't got to this one yet. He says, hey Smitty, I got the 10 pick in my 10-team league. Thinking of going with a combo of Saquon, Henry, or should I go with Saquon and AJ Brown? I don't take Henry in the top of round 2 or anything like that. So I would go AJ Brown and Saquon personally. I'd rather have Saint Brown over AJ Brown. And I'd rather have Garrett Wilson over both of them. So, but I like the idea of Saquon and St. Brown, or Saquon and obviously Garrett Wilson. But I don't love Henry at the top of 2. I'm just worried about that mileage, my guy. The recovery to the moon.
To the moon.
Appreciate you. All right, I'm going to circle around. We're going to be back tonight to draft. So, Ethan, final thoughts. Go.
Smitty, have you heard of Planet Klendasu and Starship Troopers?
It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
Well, I'm taking a guy there. He's 8 foot tall, and I'm thinking you're sounding a little afraid, like the brain bug, about Dalvin Cook. Just a little afraid. I sense some fear, Smitty.
I don't know what you're talking. I don't know what you're talking about, though. To be honest with you, I'm a little lost. Does anybody know what he's saying?
I mean, you're worried about the Jets fans cheering for Dalvin Cook. It sounds like, you're worried about Brees' confidence.
No, let me show you something.
Brees
Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Brees. He's Brees.
He does a hell of a job. A hell of a job. A hell of a job.
Brees Hall, please report to the moon.
He does a hell of a job.
I don't really know where this is going, but does this look like a man that's fearful? Do I look like a man that's afraid? Do I look like a man that's afraid of a man that shoulder is no better off than King Tut's shoulder? And my grandma's got better rotator cuffs than Dalvin Cook, and she's no longer around.
How dare they cheer for Dalvin Cook? How dare they?
It was kind of odd. Why would you do that when your starting running back is ready to have a huge season? It just wasn't, in my opinion, the right move for the fan base. That's all I'm saying, bro. It's nothing about fear. No fear to Dalvin Cook. Plus, Dalvin Cook was sent home packing, bro. All right, is that your final thought, Ethan? Throw that at me. That's really what you decided to use. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I had to put a little bit of negative in there, Smitty. I had to live up to the name.
All right. Later, negative Ethan. Later. Appreciate you. Fitzy, final thoughts.
You guys are talking about top 6 quarterbacks, and I don't debate. I don't have a rebuttal for that. But I do feel like, Geno is going to have a good season. Like, JSN is coming in.
and the run game is going to be strong. Like, I feel like he's going to have a better season than people are going to expect.
Yeah,
like,
he could. I mean, he did last year. He did the same thing last year. Tua did the same thing.
Build up on this and
He could
have a good season.
He could. I have a tough time buying into him, but I admit that I might be wrong on it. I sense I could be wrong on it. There's a lot of weapons, you know.
Right.
All right. Appreciate you, bro. Calling tonight. We're going to be drafting at midnight. All right. Later, Fitzy. Let's go over to Harrison. Final thoughts, Harrison.
No, that's all. I just want to say thank you. Have a good night.
All right, man. Harrison, calling tonight. Appreciate you, man. Avi. Final thoughts, Avi.
Brees Hall is a stud. Go get that boy. And Calvin Ridley. Watch out for him, too. Top 10 receiver.
Calvin Ridley.
Yes,
Maybe
sir.
top 5 receiver, bro. All right, later, Avi.
Yeah, he could be.
All right, calling tonight. Later. Yeah, I love Calvin Ridley right now. So on the Calvin Ridley train. Thank you to Russian Collusion, Overcome, Recovery, Steve B, G Money, Angus, Dan the Grim Reacher, Lewis, Nico, Thomas, Hector, Riff. Appreciate you all for super chatting. I'll see you all tonight. I'm going to drop the link one more time in the live chat. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. We're drafting tonight. Okay, we're drafting tonight. Hit that link that I just dropped. The link is also in the description of the video. Yeah, D-Money. You're live, D-Money. Where are you at? The grocery store? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, D-Money. What are you doing? Are you at the grocery store? What's going on?
Oh, not much. I was calling. This is gonna be my first time getting in one of your drafts tonight, and I tried last night, but I couldn't get in. I was trying to figure out which draft to get in. So how do I do that?
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you the instructions when we go live tonight. So basically, hit this link right here. Have you downloaded Underdog yet? Did you just say that?
Yes.
Okay, so everybody needs to hit that link that I just dropped. It's in the description of every video. Once you use the link, you download it. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. You got the app ready, right? Tonight we go live on YouTube, and I say open up the app, and you're going to scroll on over to the Hound Dog. Okay, we're going to click the Hound Dog together, and you should be able to do that in advance just to see it. And we're going to hit the green button at the same time and jump into the draft, okay?
All right, got you. Thank you.
And if you don't get in the draft at the exact same time or something, like if let's say you hit it and I hit it and we all hit it and you don't get in, you'll get in one right alongside of us, and you just, you can watch the show and apply the logic to your draft, and sometimes it's even better. So don't be too focused on if you get in the exact one I'm in, but you will probably if you hit the button at the right time when we do it tonight.
All right, copy that. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, D-Money, I'll see you tonight, pal. Later.
All right, later.
Okay, I don't know if I did this for Overcome. He said, tempted to go Bijan. I don't know if I did a $20 hauler for him. I think I did. But Russian Collusion dropping another.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Russian Collusion, a monster. So Smitty, pick 9. Oh, I did get to that one. Hound Dog. That's an amazing team. You deserved it again. I think I did it again for Overcome. That was just out of respect for you guys dropping your super chats. All right, I'm out of here. Appreciate you. I'll see you all later. Thank you all for your super chats. You guys are absolute monsters. I'll see you tonight. Thank you for supporting the channel, and I'll see you in just a bit. 8 p.m. Eastern moving forward. Don't forget, 8 p.m. every single Monday through Friday moving forward. That's how Dad did it. That's how America does it. And it's worked out pretty well so far. See you tonight. Thanks again, Riff. Thanks again, Hector. Thanks again, Thomas and Nico and Lewis and Dan and Angus, G Money, Steve B. The recovery. Overcome. Russian. The main. Mang. Collusion. Deuces.
Get braced.